Season number 2 here at Union Berlin. It's episode number 11. We did a double header of transfer specials. I've done more transfers since then. I'm feeling suitably prepared. Season 2 begins now. Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to Building Berlin. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Today is the start, as I've already said, of the second season of this save game. The aim for this year, I think, really has to be to just solidify European football. Top 6 again, or I say again, top 6 football would be good. Obviously, we got 7th last year, but got Europa League football. But yeah, Europa League football, I feel like, is a realistic goal. In a dream world, maybe we break into the top 4. Now, since last episode, 5 new signings made. One of these a first-team signing, one of these a player you guys should be slightly familiar with. Tom Kraus has actually joined the club. Yes, the 23-year-old, a player who I ummed and ahed about signing over the course of the transfer special. At one point, he was asking for £70,000. He lowered his wage demands to £40,000, and with that lowered demand for £6.5 million, I pulled the trigger. 23 years old, a player with bags of potential, fits the mould of our squad, trying to kind of phase out some of the older players, bring in some young talent. This guy is going to slot straight into the starting 11. Besides that, I did opt to make 4 further signings for the first team. I say for the first team, for the future of the first team. The first of these are a player we have looked at in previous episodes. Philipp Schulz here, 19 years old, German centre-back. He's going to be playing with the second team, although training with the first team. A player who has a bright future ahead of him, I hope. We also have Kiel Watjen here. He is a German 18-year-old under-19 international, was playing for Dortmund, one of 2 Dortmund youngsters we opted to pick up. For £1.2 million, it's a low-risk investment. He's going to be playing with the youth team, training with the senior team. Hopefully he develops into a starter. And the other man we picked up from Dortmund is Paris Brunner. This guy's slightly more spenny at £2.2 million. A player who will be playing potentially with the under-19s, occasionally with the B team. In an emergency, I mean, hopefully this doesn't happen, he could end up playing for the senior team as well. He is 18 years old, bags of potential, the kind of player who doesn't really have anything super standouts when it comes to his attributes, but he's also not really got a gap in his game. If his polygon just expands in all directions evenly, he'd be quality. And the final of the new signings, perhaps the one I'm most excited about, is this man, Adriano Onyegbul. I've definitely said that wrong. He's got the number 1 shirt. I did hit auto number, but the fact they've given a centre attacking mid the number 1 shirt makes me think it must be his favourite shirt number, which I kind of rate. We picked him up from Basel for £4.5 million. He'd actually joined them from Leipzig on a free the previous year. Some of the money we had sat in the club was burning maybe a little bit of a hole in my pocket. This was a man who stood out to me when we looked through all the different youth teams, has bags of potential, has signed a 5-year deal at the club with an optional 3-year extension. So this is an 8-year contract for this man, and I'm going to hope he repays that faith. We'll be training with the first team, playing for the under-19s, may occasionally play in the first team. Alongside those new additions, few players did leave the club. Endo did end up going to Cologne for £2 million. Rono left the building. Our goalkeeper of last season left for £2.8 million to go to Real Betis. He's 32 years old. We've signed a replacement. I just didn't really think there was a spot for him in the first team this year, so we got some good money for him. The only other player we sold for some significant money, of sorts, Marvin Plattenhardt. I didn't really intend on selling Marvin. I was thinking between him and Arian B, they'd be the left-back coverage. But when Marvin had a bid of £1.3 million made for him, I couldn't really turn it down. I feel like Mb is a better left-back option for us anyway. And at the age of 32, with 1 year left on his deal, £1 million is still a nice sum of money. Transfer window is still open for another month and a bit. We do still have £6 million to spend. If I was going to go out and spend it, it's probably going to be on more youth players to bolster the youth team, to bolster, of course, our second team as well. Speaking of which, they don't play in a competitive league, so I've now organised a load of friendlies. I don't know if this is a good thing or not. The last game of pre-season, the B team beat the senior team. It's a little bit awkward. A few other little bits of pre-season shenanigans to be aware of. We are in the process of improving the training and the youth facilities again. We have also improved the youth recruitment. The junior coaching budget has gone up. Of course, despite the fact we've spent a lot of money this year, still got £34 million in the bank. That is really being reinvested into the infrastructure here, which I think is going to be very, very important, not just for the here and now and developing our current players, but also for hopefully getting some good players in our youth intakes. Now, we have already played 2 competitive games ahead of the Bundesliga season starting. The first of these, anything but a competitive game. The DFL Super Cup against Bayern. We lost 5-1. They had 6 shots on target, 5 of them went in. Heidel here, I don't want to put Nicholas under too much pressure. He has got to start making some saves in goal. The only other game that we've played was against VfB Lübeck. I'd never heard of them, non-league team. It was in the DFB Pokal. Would have liked to have seen us won by a few more, but Tillman did grab 2 goals in this game. Elsewhere, you might have noticed Zach Harjen not starting in this game. Wiedrego playing out on the left-hand side. We'll talk about Zach Harjen in a moment. Elsewhere, we rotated the 11. Players like Onyegbul and Watyen, given debuts, they did fine. We made it through to the next round. On another day, I think we would have scored a few more. Now, unfortunately for us, we are doing a double header today. One of them is an away game to open the league season. It's against Stuttgart. We've done the away day at Stuttgart. I'm sorry, away day fans. The Football Manager script writers, the season schedulers, they do not take you into account. What that does mean, though, is we are going to get straight into this first game today. It's against Stuttgart. We've got a game next weekend against Leipzig. That one, I imagine, is going to be more challenging. But on the road, I would like to get off to a good start to this season. I mentioned Zach Harjen got injured in pre-season. Yeah, the wildcard signing, a player who was definitely a punt, injured. Now, good news, he will be back very soon. He may even feature in the game against Leipzig. For this game here, though, he's not available. And Gankam, I mean, he's still here. He still can't play. Out for 4 to 7 weeks still. It's kind of crazy how long that injury has kept him out for. He got injured in February. He still could be out for another 2 months. There are also a handful of other players here not available. Wiedrego, Gruder, Schulz. I kind of forgot about the fact that the B team played on the same day as us. So I let Gruder and Wiedrego play with the B team. Wiedrego probably would have made the bench today, but he can't be in 2 places at once. What that does mean, though, is that our starting 11 for the season looks a little something like this. Of course, Kraus has come into the team. With him emerging in that position, Wiedrego will feature on the bench more. It means Nemecha is going to be the advanced playmaker in the middle. I feel like this is a role that he's going to be able to do really, really well. Super versatile player with some great physicals, which is going to suit the way that we like to play. Of course, this season, Alex Scott playing in the wide area is going to be interesting. It's a bit of an experiment. If it doesn't work out, we can easily shuffle things around a little bit, but I'm hoping he is going to shine out there. Of course, big pressure on Tillman this year. The new striker signed for £4.2 million. I feel like the striking area is the big question mark of our team, but if Malik Tillman can start scoring goals, that question mark will vanish. At the back, Hadel is in goal. Roussillon, Heinz, Flick, De Costa. That is a back 4 that hasn't changed, and Forsby retained his spot in the team. Zach Harjen injured. Julian Draxler starts out on the left. I hate the fact that Draxler's starting for us, but to be fair, he proved his worth last year. Okay, game 1 of 2. I want to get off to a good start to the season. I want to win this game here because I know the game against Leipzig, even at home, is going to be a proper little challenge. The reality is, we could leave today's episode winless, especially if we don't win this first one. The second game I can't expect to win. This game here, though, if we want to get top 4, if we want to get top 6, if we want European football, we really need to win. A little bit nervous for this. Very, very experimental, of course, with our team. Looking at Stuttgart, they are playing a 4-4-2, which I'd like to think we'd match up quite nicely against. Whether or not it's actually going to transpire like that, I suppose we are going to find out sooner rather than later, as Silas is on the near side bringing it forward. De Costa going to be called into some defensive action. It's a bone-crunching tackle, which sees him get the ball but not able to get to the second ball. Kraus wins a nice header now. Now it's Alex Scott in the wide area. He's left his native habitat of the centre of the midfield. We've stuck him out on the wing. We need him to do well. He's been caught in possession, and they very nearly scored. That was the first real chance of the game, not going our way. Okay, we've ridden a little bit of luck there with that miss, but I want to believe we can still, take this game to Stuttgart. They're playing it out from the back. Jong with the ball out on the far side. What can he do? Cutting inside, trying to make something happen. Roussillon called into action. Roussillon putting in a great little tackle. I feel like Roussillon does a lot of that. Draxler comes away with the ball. Nemecha trying to get it forward towards Tillman. Can't quite pick out his man. At the moment, we're struggling to find that defence-splitting pass. With Alex Scott's creativity in the wider area with this system, with Zach Harjen, who's another player with creativity, not on the pitch today, we're lacking a little something, and Stuttgart, they're not lacking that something. This was very, very simple, wasn't it? Sosa on the overlap, lays it inside to Silas. He brings it forward. Kraus gets left in the dust. And, as much as I want to blame Hadel in goal there, the goalkeeper can't take the blame for that one. He had no chance. No one came to his rescue. We find ourselves a goal down. We, so far in this game, have been second best, it feels like, everywhere. I mean, look at the stats. We're having a lot of the ball, but not really doing enough with it. Can we make something happen here, though? Roussillon trying to pick out Tillman. Pressure on his shoulders to take opportunities that come his way. He holds up the ball nicely, gives it back to Ruslan, who's going to step forward with it. He can score from here. He's done it before. Kind of wish he hadn't even tried the shot on that occasion, though. There were options. He picked the wrong one. So far in this game, whilst we're having a load of the ball, we're not doing nearly enough with it. I'm going to up our passing directness a little bit, ask the players to pass into space, and we're just going to press a little bit more. Play a higher line. Try and rush things a little bit. At the moment, we're having a lot of the ball, but not really in dangerous areas. We're sitting deep. We win it. Can't get the ball forward. At the break, we're a goal down. I'm going to get shouty. I'm not going to panic just yet. This is not the start to the season we wanted. Already approaching the hour mark here. Nothing happening in this second half. Draxler's been poor. Safe to say that Scott's not been great either. I'm going to move Nemetcha into the final third. Move Scott into that advanced playmaker role. And then I think we're going to change things up in the wide areas. Habera's going to come on. I'm going to bring in Jamie Llewellyn for his debut under us out on the left-hand side. He was out on loan last year at Stuttgart, of all places. He's going to feature in this game. He's an either-footed player, can play on both wings. Feel like the wing area, the final third, it's where we do lack a little bit of talent. But fresh legs brought on. Not very happy with what I've seen from a lot of the team in this game. Flick's been disappointing. I'm going to bring in Eric Martel to play at centre-back. Of course, we're currently training him to play here. Longer term, he might find himself playing at centre-back for us this season. 3 changes made. We'll hold on to 2 more for now. Interested to see how Nemetcha does up top. Interested to see if Alex Scott can turn around his performance in this game at centre-mid. But suddenly, I mean, the time, it's just continuing to trickle away. We are doing nothing in this game. We are struggling to make anything really happen. Let's try and make the pitch as wide as we can, I think. Let's distribute it to the flanks. Let's throw it long. Let's get it to the wide players that we've just subbed on. We need a goal. There's 10 minutes for it to happen in. There's been 4 shots on target so far. It's not been a classic. Okay, well, that might be the most disappointing first game of the season in recent memory I've had playing Football Manager. It finishes 1-0 Stuttgart. There was barely any highlights. Not a lot happened. When your right back gets man of the match with a 7.1, or at least best performer, it's not exactly a great indictment to the team, is it? Stuttgart have a media prediction of 15th. Our prediction by comparison, 9th. That was a game that we should be getting a point from at the very least. I'm disappointed. I'm also somewhat dreading the fact that we play Leipzig in a week, which, I mean, if the last game was difficult, this one's going to be even harder. We're taking on Marco Rose's team. They've got Danny Olmo as their key player. He's rather good at football. We're going to have to try and shut him down. We have to step up our performance. We need at least a point from this next one. Let's see if we can make it happen. It's safe to say that last game was a little bit of a disaster, to say the very least. Things haven't got better midweek, and that's because for the second time in a week, the first team have lost to the B team. At what point do I just start playing the B team in my league matches instead? Union Berlin 2. Yeah, apparently Sane's amazing. Apparently. Yeah, it's not looking great, is it, for our team this year? That said, if there's a time to turn around our season, why can't it be against Leipzig? And why can't it be when Zakhayan is ready to play? That's right, the Alex Scott experiment so far, it's not really working out. But look, we're not going to panic with things just yet. We're going to give it one more game here with Zakhayan on the other wing and see what comes of it. I've got a few ideas for how I might change things, have DaCosta overlap more, change Scott to an advanced playmaker, play Nemetcha maybe as a centre mid on attack instead of the advanced playmaker. There's definitely ways I think we can make this work, but at least for now, I don't want to stray too far away from what we played last season. With that in mind, here's the team for today's game. Zakhayan's back in the team. Besides that, similar to the team that disappointed me last time out. Last year, our home form was not good enough. It has to be better this year if we want to get European football again. And well, it'd be a pretty good time right now to turn up and put in a great performance. Scott on the right, Zakhayan on the left, probably our 2 best players. I'm going to hope they can make some magic happen today. I think it is fair to say Leipzig is one of the more difficult games we're going to have in the Bundesliga, regardless of if you're playing them at home or away. They've got a good little team. They're playing this 4-2-3-1, which I think is a system we match up nicely against. But with the likes of Lindstrom, Olmo, Werner, and Thales Magno in the final third, I mean, that is 4 very, very good attacking players. Nemetcha with a corner for us. We've not created a lot in this game. It'd be very on brand if we could get the smash and grab. So far in this game, we've had 1 shot. I think they've had 10. There's still not been a shot on target, though, thus far. So it hasn't exactly been a classic, but Well, they're having a lot of chances. We are having significantly less so, and they could be bringing the ball forward here. Raum at left back on the overlap. He's going to put it in. Werner's there. Hits it goal as Hadel makes an insane stop. 5 minutes left of the half. I don't know what's happened to us today. It could end up being the worst kind of matches to watch back to back. You know, not even counting the results here. Just the actual entertainment quality has been atrocious so far in this game. I am going to mix things up. I'm going to ask the players to go more direct, out of possession as well. We are going to press more. I don't know what to say. I mean, defensively we look fine, but we have not scored now in a game and a half of football. Maybe that can change quickly, though. 10 seconds into this half, long throw into the box dealt with. Was Da Costa with that cannon of a throw. He's now going to whip the ball in towards Zakharyan, who was looking nervous before the game. He very nearly scored on his debut. Kraus at centre mid for us is on a booking. I'm going to take him off and bring in Templeman. Elsewhere, Alex Scott not playing well again. I don't want to throw him under the bus. I feel like the wide Alex Scott experiment, at least as an inverted winger, isn't working. We're going to shuffle things around. Tillman is coming off. Nemec is going up top. Scott's going to play in his natural position. An hour played. I'm going to get shouty. We've been better in this half. They've still not had a shot on target. So many of their shots from range are just not particularly inspired efforts. Could we? I was going to say, could we get a goal? We've got another shot on target, if nothing else. I mean, at least there's a highlight playing, I suppose. Still 24 minutes left here. Halfway through this second half, it remains 0-0, which, to be honest, wouldn't even be the worst result in the world to take, all things considering. But I want to believe we can make something happen. I want to give the fans something to cheer about today. Roussillon, he's not got the memo. He just wants to get me upset today. That's a shocking pass to Klosterman, who playing at right back is now going to whip it in towards out Olmo. Flick gets it away. Templeman half clears it, but Lindstrom still with the ball. He's going to dink it. Talas Magno heads over. Both teams had chances. None of the chances have been particularly great for either team. Da Costa on the far side, this time opting to throw it short to Draxler, who's caught out in possession. Morel Jr. for them, switching it over to Lindstrom. He puts in, Olmo takes it down, one-on-one, Hadel, what a stop. 15 minutes left. They've had one shot on target out of 17 shots. We have sat deep in the first half. We have pressed hard in the second half, but irrespective of how we've defended, Leipzig have struggled going forward. We've not exactly been better going forward, but there could be a chance here. Zakharyan, Simakan takes him down, show him a second yellow card. They're going down a man, and with that, I'm going for this game. We need to go for it. I'm going to bring in Schulz to play as a more defensive mid-option. Forsby's going to come off. I don't really want to change the final third, to be honest. Roussillon off for MB. And I think we'll go with those changes for now. The free kick doesn't find the back of the net either. I was too busy making changes. We missed the free kick. We've got another one here, though. Nemec is over it. He pulls the trigger. The keeper didn't move, and it hits the crossbar. They've now got a free kick of their own. Olmo whipping it towards the back post. Sesko heads it against the crossbar. Da Costa gets it away from danger. We are approaching added time here. It's 0-0. Lindstrom with the ball, though. We're leaving ourselves open at the back, but I couldn't forgive myself if we didn't go for this game here. Olmo to Benjamin Sesko. If you've played Football Manager, you know how good Sesko is. We've caught him out there. Zakharyan's ball forward is not a good one. Both teams desperately just trying to get the ball forward to create maybe one last opportunity. Raum at left back on the overlap. Can he make something happen here for Leipzig? Options in the middle. Ball's flicked in. Schulz heads it away. Only as far as Mora Jr. Hadel. What's just happened? That's... Can I restart the game? What's just happened? I've played hundreds of hours of Football Manager. What is this? What is that? I won't restart the game, but that is horse shit. I'm so angry. You know what? This video doesn't even dignify an end. We've lost both games 1-0. Hadel's conceded an own goal on his debut. I've not seen a goal like it this year. I don't think I'm being unreasonable to think that this is f***ing shit. Like, I'm ending the video here. You don't even get a proper outro from me today. I'm fuming. We have lost both games to start the season 1-0. I'm throwing water bottles. The players are scared of me. I'm scared of myself. We are second from bottom. At least we're ahead of Werder Bremen. They've got a game in hand, so it doesn't even matter. Nemec wants to talk about the team talk, mate. I'll work on them. I'll handle them better. Maybe. Genuinely, I'm just sat slumped in my chair here. I don't know what to tell you to end today's episode. I don't know what I've just... Do I blame the goalkeeper for that? Is that Hadel's issue? Is that just the game being rubbish? I don't know how to feel. I think we'll end things here for today. I don't know when we're coming back next time. I'm going to go have a cry. I think that's an appropriate reaction to what I've just seen. What an awful episode. I mean, hopefully tomorrow's better. I'll see you guys for that one then. Bye. Bye. Oh, God. I play this game for fun.